Like a podcast, we gon' talk about it, yeah, we get it poppin'. Every Wednesday, PM Central, we are the only options. Who they touch with their topics, even if it is toxic. Like a podcast, we gon' be here to talk about it. We gon' talk about it. We gon' talk about it. Like a podcast, we gon' be here. Like a podcast, we gon' be here.
Yo, welcome back to another edition of the Life Be Life podcast. Back up on the scene, I'm your host, Tony D.
And I'm your host, D to the J. Still in the building like I ain't never left. But guess what? Shout out to heaven. It's still a G thing. New handle. You heard me. Yeah.
What's cracking, my boy?
Hey, man. I'm going to tell you like this. So I came home from work and I started drinking. And I had another drink. Then I had another drink. And then I had another drink. And guess what, bro? We ended up right here. And then I realized before I knew it, I had done listened to Hail Mary. Yeah. Hey, it's like that, bro. And then I got to thinking about tonight's topic. And I said, I don't even want to tarry too long. We want to jump straight into this thing, bro. And my mindset was like, even from the facts of, I don't even think Thanos was that wrong, bro. And we're going to prove his points right tonight. Because if I had the rings, if I could snap my fingers right now, bro, it would be pork rind dust for them suck MCs everywhere. You hear me, bro? Bro, I'm talking about, I'm talking about all the rings. Gone.
I ain't got time for you tonight, man.
What we talking about, bro?
You know what, y'all? Yeah, might as well. Let's do it.
We do ask that you verify that information for yourself.
Smart move.
The views and opinions expressed on the Life Be Life podcast are solely those of the artists, producers, guests, and hosts of the show. Any numbers, stats, or stated resources that are given, we do ask that you verify that information for yourself.
All right.
Had to get that out the way. Because
y'all notice it's only 8:03, right?
But it's your level of immaturity that I feel like is finna take us there. So I want to make sure we just get that disclosure out the way real early, mad early, because your immaturity. But bro, man, listen. Boom, two left shoes. We finna kick it off. So let's tie a whole lot of stuff in. I'm gonna say this before we jump to the topic. We know tonight's topic, rather be toxic than held accountable. Man, so many people pop that. Your fault, you did. They in a situation they shouldn't be in. They tolerating something. They're spinning the narrative. And the whole reality is you're not taking accountability for your role. And you staying in whatever situation, good, bad, and different, whatever you created. But when I got to thinking about toxic, I said, men are important. Dads are vital. This is just me. And we just read the disclosure, so don't take this to be true. But I believe if we were to take a poll of all the toxic people in the world, right? I believe that about 65 to 70% of the reason they're toxic is because of daddy issues. I'm going to say about 10 to 15% of toxic people will be due to mother issues. And then I'm going to say the rest of the folks out there, that last little 5 to 10%, depending on what you believe the first two numbers are, them folks is just absolute insane in the membrane. They was just crazy. It ain't matter. Hey, man, it ain't matter. They could have had all they sets of grandparents, they parents, they had godparents, they had a fairy godmother, they got a christening, a baptism, a bar mitzvah. Hey, and they still was wilding out old Menendez brothers. Y'all just wilding, bro. But I say that there's so many issues that I feel like could really be kind of lassoed in or corralled, right?
Yeah.
So accountability. Let go. Hey, peep me out, man. I'm trying to figure out why church folks got people feeling such a way that some of the most beautiful things that could ever take place in life, they would want to cover and conceal it because they worried about the very thing that you doing in secrecy. But you put something all the way to the side, whether it was a relationship, a baby, a scandal. You put it so far off to the cut so nobody else can see it. But then inside the four walls of the church, you preaching a message that has people feeling the way. So, bro, let's go ahead and kick this thing off, man. And I want to talk about how is it that some people want to hold on to a level of virtue or holiness for some kids and they couldn't even execute it for themselves. But I got, let's get it. The ball's in the air, my boy. You gonna catch it or fair catch? What are we doing? You running it back?
Yeah, come on. Yeah, I'm gonna defer because you are already on fire. Come on with it.
Bet. So what I feel is, I want to say this. I really value and respect the people of God that are 100% for God's people. Meaning, when you right, they with you. When you wrong, they with you. It's just when you wrong, they praying for you until you get back up and can get with them. But they right there with you. I really value those people. And I say that because, one, this episode is not going to be circled around just one particular thing. So if you think we finna bash the church, you mistaken. I'm just kicking some facts because it's going to tie a whole lot of stuff in together. And we chopping some things down today. We chopping these bricks. You hear me? These birds is getting cut today and they going out to every coast. We sending them out. We got distribution. It's today. It's going down today. Listen, I'm just really trying to figure out because a lot of times when you sitting somewhere, people are giving you their testimony, bro. They telling you, you know, where they came from, and they keeping it 100. And they doing this because there's a personable aspect, there's a relatable aspect that if I can, you looking at me now with this suit and tie, you know what I'm saying, a more distinguished look. You know what I'm saying? You don't know me when I used to have the S curl with the part right there, looking like old boy from the Temptations. You don't know me back then, but see, back then, they like, hey, I was boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? You know me as Pastor so-and-so. Back then, they knew me as Mooney Rock. You know what I'm saying? So you try to tell the things you went through to be relatable. So knowing that at that particular point in your life, you were susceptible to all the things that now have you thankful for God's grace, mercy, and everything.
Right.
Why do you want to hold somebody else to a standard that you yourself couldn't even maintain? Everybody wants a child, you know what I'm saying, abstain from holiness. Be holy for he is holy. And we're right. I'm not saying that. But man, why don't you come down a little bit? Tell these kids why we need to do X, Y, Z. Yes, I would love you to stay a virgin until you're married because that is biblically what is being taught. But also the parenting aspect, the financial aspect. Let's drop bars on all that and stop trying to scare the hell out of folks. You feel me? You trying to scare the hell out of people and send them to heaven.
Hey.
Hold on.
Hey. Okay.
You trying to scare the hell out of people to send them to heaven, fam. And that's not what it is. Because above all things, you're supposed to love. Yeah, I understand, you know what I'm saying, there's sin and things don't look right. I get all of that. But understand that the church, bro, it's like a hospital. And the people in ministry are the doctors and the nurses, the staff. Even somebody like an usher that in the church world would be considered on the lower level. from a hospital standpoint will still have a significant role in keeping things tidy and clean. So everybody working has a role to play in assisting to the betterment of the patient. So from a church standpoint, if you sitting out there on them pews, you equivalent to somebody that's in the waiting room, the ER, you're sick. If you not somebody up there, you sick. So why are you judging? Look at Money, his leg broke. Yeah, but do you see you missing 2 teeth? So you're trying to play him out because he got one thing wrong, and that's not what you got wrong, but you ain't tripping off of what you got wrong. And I believe from a biblical aspect, that's what's called consider the plank in your own eye or getting the speck out first. You can't judge folks, man. Just love people. So boom. Let's kick this thing off, bro. I just want to go ahead and talk about real quick. Give me your thoughts and perspectives, man, on how the level of accountability has shifted from the mistakes that I made as a teenager or a young adult. And because I can't take accountability, I'm going to put them off on the youth in the church and make them feel away for any mistake or life decision that was equivalent to every other adult in this church. Speak on it.
All right. So, first of all, I believe that there are some people that are in church for a status quo. It gives them, and please don't take this the wrong way, lifers, but it gives them purpose. And when I say purpose, that purpose doesn't necessarily mean serving God. This is something to do to make them feel good about themselves only, to give them a name, to have some type of foothold on an imaginary spot in the church. I think that's a good way to put it. So what starts to happen is there's a persona that goes along with that. I can't never have on scuffed up sneakers. I can't never wear my hair braided to the back.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wear these shirts and these clothes. There's certain things that I just can't do because I have to keep up an image.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as that image is trying to be kept up, there are other people that are watching this false image trying to mirror themselves after them. What starts to happen is we forget that God will forgive. We as a people, we have a much harder time doing the same thing. We tend to look at people in their predicament and forget that we was once there ourselves.
Exactly.
But because we're trying to keep this level 3 or 4 in Mario Brothers afloat, when something like that happens, instead of me being part of the fivefold ministry of the church, I'm trying to distance myself, then go tell somebody else about it and say, ooh, I'm glad we're not living like that. So now, as you stated earlier, because of people's insecurities and how they're living their life, and, we've heard stories, we've seen fallout. So I'm not here to put anybody on trial or to judge anybody personally. But we've seen how many pastors, preachers, priests, ministers have been caught with underage children, underage boys and girls, my people. And it's kind of like, as I stated before, that person had a mission to be in a position so he could continue to do, or she, to do their dirt, quote unquote, unnoticed.
Kind of create some distractions and environments around them to where you would never assume because, oh, they're a pillar in the community. They doing volunteer work. They da. They baking brownies. I see that. And again, it's not all we, hey,
Yeah.
I don't care
Yeah.
what we talking about, from people to
Yeah,
animals to
but
jobs.
this finna trickle down. This
Yeah.
page is finna turn real fast.
Yep.
So now as that starts to get projected on the youth, because my thing has always been, if I'm catching hell in my life as a child, I have no siblings. I have a mama. I barely know my daddy. I'm getting beat on. I may be getting abused.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that don't nobody love me. Everybody out, I'm an outcast to everybody. And when I step inside the walls of the church, and the first thing you're trying to tell me is that somebody that I don't know has died on the cross for me because they love me, but I can't naturally see love in my everyday life. So now this is not the place to be. So that first person, that first man, or that first woman that can get into their life, show them some type of attention or love, that could be a dangerous thing. And what tends to happen with us as people, as these young people grow up to be young adults and they get into relationships and out of relationships and start to have kids, hurt people. So that starts now, it's a trickle down effect. This one has had 3 kids, so it's infected them. They may each have 3 kids, so that's what, 9? It starts to trickle down exponentially. And at some point in that young person's life, hey, anybody taking accountability? Hey, as your mama, I know I cussed you out the other day. I'm going through some other things. My bad.
You still a little B word, but I ain't mean it.
You know what I'm saying? But you feel me, though. You feel
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So if that one person could have stepped in and took accountability for what their actions were,
Yep. Could have stopped all
instead
of
of
it.
trying to control, I can't control nobody else's actions. But simply you taking accountability can break that cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's parents, mother to children, father to children, siblings, cousins, aunts, uncles, nieces, extended family. Until we can understand is that, we still all jacked up. And most of us only let you see what we want you to see anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Because you always have something to say, so I might as well always show you at my best.
Right. Hey, bro, but you know, man, when you really summarized that, man, when you were talking about just the sequence and how it can trickle down from the one, they can have kids, so on and so forth. And that's really a great summary of toxic without being held accountable, because that one person has chosen to take the toxic things of their life, whether it was trauma due to their mistakes, decisions, how somebody treated them in the midst of their decision. So now in the quest to be perfect and never make that mistake again, right? They're pushing that ticket on everybody else. But the problem is sometimes, especially with young adults, it's pushing them away versus bringing them in. And because you push them away, so then the next thing you said was it gets dangerous because now anybody that can meet a need, an emotional need, has them. And so from a parent's perspective, and this ain't talking about whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, but
Yeah.
a child that is not receiving any type of love at home, you can't be mad if another community starts to show them love and now they're a part of a community. And you like, well, why are you doing that? You don't know what you want to be. Yeah, but they know they want to be loved. And had you given them that love, so they're going to go wherever. A boy that's not getting guidance and directions.
Okay.
You feel me?
Yeah.
He's gonna lean to the streets, because the streets, hey, that dope dealer buying him the shoes. The dope dealer making sure he get off the bus stop and in the crib good because he see my man's future and he wanted to get out the block. but he got uncles that steady slanging, and he's seeing his uncles give his mama crack rock. So in that reality, who would be the mentor? And so now who would I gravitate towards? 13, 14, 15, 16. I need money. I know we do some bad things, but is it really bad if it's keeping my mom's lights on and this, that, and the third?
Yeah.
So because I haven't taken accountability for whatever actions that I'm doing and I'm staying toxic, I then create a situation that will impact so many others. We a little late, bro. It's 8:20, but this is what I definitely want to do. I want you to go ahead and drop that beat, because when we come back, hey man, I want to talk about some. I ain't even gonna give it away because I just want to see your reaction when I spit life. You ready?
Let's
Don't
do
take
it.
no breather like I'm too much, man.
I got that victory.
I know it's hard, but keep going. I got that victory. Y'all already know it. My God is already won it. Satan 0, team guy 100. My visa, 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 I got that victory, I got that victory. I woke up this morning singing that Reuben stuttered. Oh Lord, I need an angel.
Give me one.
When I got done with that, was bumping that Tasha Cobbs. Continue to break every chain that I know I got.
Let's go.
Yeah, I seen the news, I read the papers, I'm in the hood.
I'm in the hood.
Between Avion and Mike Brown, I'm heartbroken.
Hands up.
But this victory that I'm walking in is gonna fix it all.
Go fix it all.
In my darkest hour, my God is woken, I'm quick to call.
Come quick call.
I'ma use my pain for some gain. Throwing up my V's while it rains. Put a praise on it, it's gonna be okay.
Hey, say.
And you better not touch them kids, they with me, okay? I know it's hard, but keep going. I got that victory. Y'all already know it. My God is already won it. Satan 0, team guy 100. My visa, 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 I got that victory, I got that victory. Let's go. The Bible say I'm way more than a conqueror.
right.
And you better believe it, homie.
I do.
This ain't for believers only.
right.
For the sick, for the hurt, for the lonely.
yeah.
I'm here to say God is with you.
He's with
Stump
you.
Satan to the ground. You've been waiting so long. Now it's time go and get your issue. My spirit say to read Deuteronomy. My spirit said to read Deuteronomy. Chapter 20, verse 4. I got that victory, got my enemies no more.
No more.
See how I use that pain for my gain.
Push it.
Kept throwing up my V's while it rained. Keep putting them praises on it, it's gonna be okay.
Hey, say.
And you better not touch our youth, stay with me, okay? I know it's hard, but keep going. I got that victory. Y'all already know it. My God is already won it. Satan 0, team guy 100. My visa, 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 I got that victory, I got that victory. Let's go.
My visa, my visa, my visa.
Hey, shout out to Shoes, man. Hey, I love his music, man. Yeah, good dude. All right, man.
Absolute.
Come on with it.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into the next little skitty. Wow. Hey, man. I'm trying to figure out why parents has got kids in different age brackets treat them differently. You understand? I'm trying to figure out what happened to standards. Like I see so much when I look between social media, day-to-day life, just I'm out in the public, bro. And I see scenarios to where if you didn't know any better, you would think it's maybe like a mom and her child, and then maybe like a great niece or something, or a mom and a child and what you would think is a grandchild, or a man, whatever. And I think about the way that people were raised, and it was funny because I seen it growing up, man. And one of my best friends growing up, we like 18 years old, man, and then all of a sudden his mom's is pregnant. We like, what you mean? Like, what you mean she pregnant? Like, we about to be done with school and she's starting over. Like, and then I started to see, like, just even within a lot of things, and as I grew older, just seeing how people are different. Maybe these kids was getting popped in the mouth for back talking us or saying something, but now this kid is in everybody's business. Like, anytime grown folks talking, the little girl or the little boy, the teenage girl, the teenage boy, whatever it's looking like, is right there. And I think a lot of people is just like, what has changed in that mom or that dad's life to where their standards and the morals and the way that they raised every child changed? And so it made me just kind of think, because, like I told you, around 5, 6 o'clock, I had a drink. Then I had another drink. Then I had another drink. Then I had another drink. And next thing I know, I was listening to Hail Mary. And before I know it, bro, I was feeling like this. So here we are. So it just really made me just be like what? So was the way that the first kids was raised wrong, or is this way wrong? But they both can't be right.
Okay.
So why parents try to split that Dutch down, man, with that old funky backdoor key? Why you just can't roll it up and light it straight? Why you gonna try to give me the little piece of the pie? Why you gonna tear the why, bro? Why all the pepperoni get taken off my pizza, but you got 3 toppings on yours? Spit life to me, bro. Help me try to understand. You got a whole wallet. You got a wallet, but I got a key around my neck. Bro, talk life to me. Talk life to me.
So,
there's
a few different ways that you can go with this.
Go with the first one.
I believe to an extent that some parents raise their kids according to where they are at the moment.
Yeah.
So if I'm young, I'm out here, I'm struggling, I'm reckless, you may raise your child to be a little bit of the same. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm hopping from person to person in a relationship because I haven't stabilized myself as a person, more or less a parent, probably going to produce the same thing. As a person gets a little bit older and their lifestyle changes, say late 20s, early 30s, light bulbs should be kicking in. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You just dropped a new baby. You're 30. People, as you stated, the mind doesn't mature until, saying you're 25, right?
Mm-hmm.
24, 25.
25.
So if I'm headed to my 30s, technically my life should starting to be stabilized, which means possibly as I'm raising another child, I'm raising them in a whole different environment because I'm out of that old environment, which can lead to 2 different points in parenting.
It can, absolutely.
Because when I was young and I didn't know no better and I really didn't want the responsibility, I'm frustrated at you, but then wondering why you frustrated at me and frustrated with the world because I embedded that in you.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that, bro. I understand if you just wasn't ready You know, they out there, they got the first kid, and they got the first kid in the punkin seat in the bathroom with the shower on. I get it. I don't expect you to do that by kid number 3. But
Right.
even if
But
we say because finances change, circumstances change.
mm-hmm.
However, the message should still be consistent. So if I got
It
if I got
doesn't.
100 sheep, I got 100 sheep, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got 100 sheep, and I have lost the one.
Mm-hmm.
And I go and that one sheep is off in the cut, feeling like, woe is me, where are my peoples? I'm all alone. And
Mm-hmm.
I go find that one sheep. However, now that I have the one sheep, I'm so happy to have the one that I give all my energy, effort, attention to the one. And I never trip off of the 99. Now, what happens to the 99, bro? Is it not the same
They get
position as the
famished.
one? And they're in the same position as the one. However, because it's more, by your own analogy in the beginning, the situation now is worse. The later is worse than the beginning.
Yeah.
Because instead of you accepting your toxicity, that's a new word, they're not able to use it. That's a Life Be Life and podcast brand. Because you didn't accept your toxicity. You understand? You weren't able to hold yourself accountable. And because you didn't hold yourself accountable in your toxicity, that allowed you to now turn around and say, you know what? I think I'm going to do the right thing by making up for every other mistake I've ever done and putting everything in here.
Right.
But if you don't include the other sheep, you have not repaired it. All you did was
Just reversed it.
All you did was stitch up the hole in your left pants pocket while the right pocket tore a hole.
Yeah, but then in the tailpipe.
So what we saying? So
Yeah.
I give that scenario because somewhere somebody, whether it's they got a child by another dude, and let's say that baby daddy just passed away. Everything was like Ostra Nostra, everything Gucci. You feel me? Everything is rice and beans gravy. But that first baby daddy, man, for real, that's the one that she wish. You know what I'm saying? But he's still
Right.
up and kicking. He ain't paying. He ain't coming around. And so
No.
that child gets treated totally different than this one who's the favored.
Yeah.
The favored. A toxic person won't even be able to see their own faults in the relationships. So
Of course.
I did a lot of talking, bro. I want you to answer this question for me. Let's say you've had a job, you've had 15 jobs in your life. Everyone fired you. Every job you have has fired you. Is it the jobs or would it be you? What's the common denominator, bro? And
you
I want you to tell the lifers what would be the likelihood in that scenario that it would be the circumstances as opposed to the person in the circumstances.
I mean, of course, it's you. You the common denominator. It's always somebody else. Knowing that 2 weeks ago you showed up every day late. Knowing
And left early.
that your manager didn't approve your time, but you still slid out of town on vacation and they let you keep your job.
Yeah. And you remind me on Facebook, inboxing your coworkers while they on the clock.
Knowing that depending on where you work, your house got a lot of the same thing.
Yeah.
Knowing that you might be messing with somebody, man or woman, that's on the job.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we done got all of that out the way, but how is it always somebody else's fault? They didn't make you late. Are they tripping because I'm late? You told them you was gonna be there at 8, not 8:34.
Uh-huh.
That's on you. And what happens is that some people are so nonchalant and they so toxic that they never realize, so they never change. Nobody comes into their life to change it. They don't have an experience that changes it. They just don't change.
What's some indicators that it's them, bro?
They
Like, cause
they
you just say so they won't change. So for the
they
people that won't change, right? Like, what is some indicators that you could be like, look, this is how you know it's you and you need to change.
number one, it's your everyday life. Let's start there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about when you wake up in the morning. Some people wake up complaining, go through their whole day complaining. Every time they call you, you know they not finna just call you for casual conversation. They
Yeah,
finna call you to
it's gonna be
complain about
something.
something.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Don't even care how you doing. They just want to let you know what they going through right now. The relationships. If it's always the other person's fault,
Mm.
I didn't stay with him because me and him didn't work out because oh well see he still stayed with his mama. Oh well, I didn't know he had another baby. But the thing is that nobody gets the Carfax before they
Mhm.
start to lay down with people. Let me see who you really are. Yeah, I'm attracted to you like that, but let's see what you really about. Because you're gonna have tendencies at some point in time that's gonna be a deal breaker that I can go about my business kid
Big
free.
facts. Big facts. Because when that burger come out, bro, sometimes the buns do be thick, but that lettuce be withered. Life
Yeah, man.
lesson.
So
Life lesson. Y'all can translate that how y'all want, but that's a life lesson.
and even with us men, I understand, man, that you know we fight like hell every day, leaving our homes. We fight like hell in our workplaces. You know what I'm saying? Just to remain uh, employed. We fight like hell coming back home because we may have to stop by the store and get some gas or some bread and milk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then if we coming home and still fighting, nah. But men, you also have to understand who you are because you got to understand your likes or dislikes because the system is already against you. It's already against you. So based on how you finna move, you finna get a couple of strikes added to you regardless. But the thing is, we too quick, like you say, to hit the buttermilk biscuits, and we're not really
Worried
paying
about where the
attention.
gravy finna go. Exactly.
You hear me? The fruit.
Exactly.
So now all of
Mm-hmm.
a sudden, you're in your 20s. You can't really move ahead in life because child support, if you've been married and been divorced,
Mm-hmm.
like it's so much.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have some men who are controllers, meaning somewhere in their life there is something that hurt them so bad that they never recovered from.
Mm-hmm.
They never went got help for or about. So when they now that if they've gotten you or you've increased their life value because they're happy, you have to be careful because some of them don't know how to let go.
Very true. Very true.
Because again, understand that life is hard. Man, I had abandonment issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I was out here wilding because I wanted to be with someone. I only wanted to belong to one person, but I didn't know how to love effectively. You know how to love responsibly. Somebody will catch that at some point. I had to learn. So when you get tired of your life doing all this flippy floppy, it seems like that you can't keep a friend. You don't have a best friend that ain't over 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? Relationships is 2 years ago. Your family
Yeah.
not talking to you. You can't keep a man, you can't keep a woman. Everybody's always against you at work. You have to slow the hell down and realize this is you, player. This is you, ma'am. And if you don't change it for yourself, there's nobody that can add value to your life that can make it change.
True that. I even feel like, bro, like so you mentioned like people that deal with things kind of spin particular things. And so we know, a lot of people use the word narcissist. Um, but even from the standpoint, man, like you could take something as simple as that show Catfish, right? And first off, I love watching Catfish. It's hilarious to me. And everybody always feels bad. Nah, real rap, because everybody feels bad for Todd. You know what I'm saying? Here's Todd with his little hair flipped to the, you know what I'm saying? Todd is that dude, you know what I'm saying? He on there, cool kid, got his hair flipped or whatnot. But Todd getting played, right? Everybody feel bad for Todd. Never met the person.
Yep.
But at one point when we say, Todd, man, hold yourself accountable, pimp. It's been 6 years you ain't met this person. And y'all planning engagements. So while it is absolutely wrong for another party to be deceptive and leading somebody down a mental, because you don't know what people have going on, and you could be doing all kind of triggering. But where's the accountability? Like at what point do I have enough love for myself and hold myself accountable to say, hey, why am I committed to this? Why am I committed to this person that I've never met? You know what I'm saying? So where's the accountability?
Yeah.
Whether it's a man that is, putting his hands on the woman and he's going to spin the narrative, or vice versa, because it's women that are in domestic situations too, as the aggressor. Well, I only hit you because, you wouldn't stop nagging me. You know what I'm saying? I only cheated on you because you wouldn't stop accusing me. So since you wouldn't accuse me, I figured I might as well do it. Right. I didn't really take accountability for my actions. All I did was just spun something, right?
Transferred them.
You hear me? And so, last week, man, we talked about who me. And it's similar to what we on tonight, except at some point the highway splits off and you go north and I go south on this thing. But when we did that show Accountability, bro, the who's me, it made me evaluate some things differently. And there was a lot of situations that I can even say I felt that I'd apologize for. And although my apology was sincere, it wasn't the best product or application for the situation. And so when I went back and revisited the scenario and said, you know what? I need to elaborate a little bit differently in this regard, or do this. And it just opened up some, but it starts with accountability itself. And accountability isn't always something that happens in the moment. But as men, as women, as adults, it definitely is something that should always be challenged. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you would rather stay toxic than be accountable. So when you look around you and you don't have consistent family or friends, understand that our family is folks that we have also built in our life based on the bond that they have. Bro, you my family. You know what I'm saying? We've traveled the country in different directions. Our wives, you know what I'm saying? Like we in it. But you also have the natural family. Right. And so if the only family that I have around me is the few people that I have constructed to replace those that are deciding for whatever reason not to be there, at some point we have to evaluate ourselves and just say, what is it about me that makes people not want to be around me? I mean, dang, bro, am I that ugly that nobody want to be around the kid? Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought I could tolerate his mug, but you know what? I can't do it. I'm done. I can't be friends. Like if people are steady turning their backs, your family, your friends, co-workers, And the narrative you spin in your head is because everybody is doing something. Hey, what's that old song my boy used to say? Gotta be starting something. Man, ain't nobody did nothing to you. It's you. It's y'all, man. Like, what? I really want to know what movie be playing in some people's heads sometimes.
Dude,
You know what I'm saying? Like, what movie, what TV do they got?
you was dumb.
What LCD? What is it? Zenith? They got an old school Zenith, bro. Like, because the vision you seeing in your head
Dumb.
is crazy. The scenario is crazy. But you're painting this narrative that everybody is against you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the reality is, these are the people that'll withdraw and will retract themselves.
But a
Hold
piece.
yourself accountable. The toxicity, and if you don't know how to spell it, I'll put it in the chat. Toxicity. It's in the chat. It's a life.
Put it in the other chat.
I got it. So because you're not holding yourself accountable, that level of toxic, you're indeed now passing that on to so many other people, even if you seclude yourself from them. Because in your seclusion, in your isolation, you're impacting somebody else's mental. You're impacting their ability to relate to others. You're impacting their ability to have healthy relationships. Sometimes to get a healthy resolve. Sometimes to get over a scenario. Sometimes to put together the puzzles of their past. Sometimes to get a course of the future. And we can go on and on and on and on and on, because I had one drink. And then I had another. And then I had another. And then I had another. And then I started listening to Hail Mary. And I caught a vibe and I ended up right here. So here we are. So
let me say this, man.
Talk to me. I'm going to turn my camera off so they don't see me, you know what I'm saying, turn this fifth up, because this fifth is now an eighth.
So check it out, y'all. And I'm going to roll this into my soapbox as well.
Do it.
We when we get up in the morning and we, check into our lives.
Yeah.
And understand the world that we live in. Because we all in somebody else's life, you know what I'm saying?
True that.
But we got to figure out what's in our life. As bro said, and as I've stated, if people start migrating away from you for their peace, you got to understand that there's a change that needs to come. So as the holidays are getting ready to pop up, this is one of the loneliest times of the year. People do wild things during the holidays just because they don't have family. Some it may be naturally, some may be toxicity. But think to yourself, man. And I kind of threw this in a video last night, that there are people in your life that meant something to you. They did something major for you. They got you to another level in life. And when you got to that new level, you the one that started acting funny. There are people in your life that if they were to pass, you're going to shed tears at their funeral.
Yeah.
There are people in your life that have never wronged you, but because of your attitude, you have pushed them out of your life. Y'all, first thing, understand it and admit to yourself and apologize to yourself first.
Facts.
Apologize to yourself because you deserve more. You deserve better. You deserve to be happy. But as you apologize to yourself, you need to go and apologize to them people. There are some people that you think don't mess with you no more and you don't go around them, and they didn't forgave you years ago.
True.
And you done missed out on important things in the family and important parts of people's life. There are things that you've done to people just because they were in a better position that they will never regret helping you with, but you started acting funny, or you didn't want to pay back what you owed.
Yep.
And then people that forgave you for it, but you missing out on vital parts of their life with just not saying, yo, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yo, and wrapping this thing up, there are situations in our life that we all had to make a choice because, yo, life be doing this thing. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do to get by.
Yeah, true.
Understood.
True that.
But there are sometimes we step on people on the way. We move some people out of our way on the way. We have created seasonal relationships with people who don't mean us no good in order for us to have some sort of peace. But it
Mm-hmm.
always involves you being out of the element, being high and drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Apologize to these people, man.
Yeah.
You will see how it helps your life. And it's no telling what you've been missing out on, how these people can bless you on the other end.
Yeah.
So, yo, instead of remaining in that state and being toxic, hold yourself accountable in all areas of your life. And if you not, don't you dare speak on nobody else's situation. I'm gonna back on up.
I like that in you. I like that. I like that. Hey, and you know, I don't mean to intercept, but look, to piggyback on that, bro, it's a whole lot of people that's missing their blessings just simply because they're gonna disconnect themselves from certain people. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of people was getting blessed because they was directly linked to certain folks. And God had so much favor over them that he was blessing everybody that was around them. And these is bars.
Overflow.
These was bars. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you really have to be careful of the attitude that you allow to mix with toxic potential. You got to be real careful. You know, I started getting tattooed real early. One of the first tattoos that I got was above another one, and it said the causes of war. And the causes of war was something that unfortunately my mind holds true to. I don't give a rip who you are. If you ain't on this side, you catching a shot. That's my version of the causes of war. You pick a side. Ain't no such thing as neutral. Literally that Tupac mentality. This ain't about East or West. You feel me? So the causes of war, you have to be careful when you have the attitude, and it can link up to toxic potential. And so you mentioned having to tell people that, you know, hey, I'm sorry, I apologize. And then apologize.
Bad.
And you never too grown for that. You feel me? Like, this is a scenario and a situation that legit just happened in my life last week with my oldest brother. You know what I'm saying? And in the midst of us losing a sister, and some things that he said to me that just really, I guess it broke and burned down all the barricades and bondage that my mind had about certain things, right? And in that instance, I realized that whatever I used to feel, whatever I thought, the things that I said before, I feel like my brother should have X, Y, Z, all that stuff. In the midst of that moment, I said it didn't matter. Yeah. And as this man began to tell me to the level in which he loved me and appreciated me and thought so highly of how I think and speak and handle my business and raise my kids, my apology was so sincere back. And this is something that a lot of people got to tell people. I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like I did not love you back. And I know I did, because I'm a spoiled brat, and it's because of my sisters and my mama. She probably listening. It's your fault too. Y'all spoiled me. Y'all know y'all did. And now my wife got to deal with this madness and this mess. She don't want to deal with this mess. But but in all sincerity though, the one thing that I would say is we just getting ready to wrap up. and close this thing out, man, on tonight's topic. Rather be toxic than held accountable. There's so many scenarios where the reality is we just need to look ourselves in the mirror. And one of the things I used to tell people, man, when I used to give a testimony way back in the day, I used to be such what I felt was a horrible person, bro, that I can remember 1:30, 2:30 in the morning while the whole house is asleep, and I'm literally in the second bathroom in the mirror in the dark, looking at myself, thinking how much of a horrible person I am and wanting a change, right? And me holding myself accountable to the user. Well, you're not a bad. No, I was a bad person. I was. I really was. I had good intentions, but I was doing some Dick Dastardly type of stuff. Like I just, man, life just hit me, man, and I just didn't really know, you know what I'm saying, how to do it. But I wanted better, and so this is why I started to, you know, desire to seek something greater. You know what I'm saying? And hold yourself accountable. Examine yourself. Find out what you need to do to make yourself better. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to come just as slow as when your tail got big. Them sandwiches, they built up on you. So don't think you're going to get better overnight. It's going to be just like a little bite of good sandwich, a little bite of good sandwich. And then before you know it, boom, your spirit is all that. You feel me? So take your time, B. Slow down. Live in the moment. God is good. Yeah. Love everybody. Life is so short. It's literally a vapor. You know what I'm saying? If people ain't putting value in your life, love them from a distance. Life is too short. Yeah. But for those folks out there that you know you doing dirt and you need to tell them you love them, man, get up off your high horse, man. Stop being toxic. Yeah. It's trauma. Hold yourself accountable and do the right thing, even if it's not reciprocated, man. You know what I'm saying? Peace, love, and blessings. I'm D to the J. Bro, what we talking about? What we doing? Because I still got, bro, if you want,
nope.
Hey, my glasses invisible, Holmes.
Hey,
we
appreciate everybody commenting on, chiming in. We here on Wednesdays. Don't forget the last Wednesday before Thanksgiving is going to be
that's November
season 4 finale,
and that's crazy. Next Wednesday is crazy. Don't KO and don't give up. We having a special guest, Mr. Carvon Owens, co-owner of Too Much Sauce on the Side. If you're here in the Midwest, recently and newer found publicist. My boy got books on Amazon. Like, what are we talking about, bro? And his story is crazy. A legit good dude with a great background. Be there. Set your alarms.
Yeah, be there. Beat us there. Don't meet us there.
You heard me. Start now. Wait till next week. Chill.
If y'all love this show, share it with your people. Take it to our YouTube page.
Yup.
So I'll scroll it down there. Don't forget the merch. We got some beanies coming in soon. We got the hoodies. You know, we got tumblers coming. So, you know, let us know.
Guess what, bro?
What is this?
Guess what? At the end of the day, you know what?
Life. Go keep on lifing.
Yeah.
We're going to be here to talk about it.
Who is you?
I'm your host, Tony D.
And I'm your host, D to the J. You see right up under there, shout out to heaven. Still a G thing. You dig? Kick that music.
Like the podcast, we gon' talk about it, yeah, we get it poppin'. Every Wednesday, be essential, we are the only options. Who they touch with their topics, even if it is toxic. Like the podcast, we gon' be here to talk about it.